Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi.
Pleasure. My name is Joel Abbott. I'll be doing your interview today for Potter's Creek. As you may know, this interview is for the HR coordinator position. So
Do you need my resume?
no, I have a copy of it here.
Okay.
Jade Abbott. Yep. So let's jump right into it, Jade. So tell me a little bit about your greatest strengths and weaknesses.
I would say that my strengths include being very organized. I'm very detail oriented, which allows me to manage my time and complete multiple tasks efficiently. As far as weaknesses, I would say probably delegating. Sometimes I think I take on too much responsibility, and that doesn't allow me to trust my teammates and delegate tasks to them. So I'm working on it.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Delegation is something that's hard for us all because we all want to, sometimes take the lead in some things, but we have to learn to understand that, hey, sometimes it might be best for the group if we just pass it on to someone else. But
Right.
that's very candid and, straightforward. So I do really appreciate that. So tell me a little bit about an accomplishment that you did that you was proud of.
So a professional accomplishment that I think I was proud of was with my previous staffing specialist position with Manpower.
Okay.
I was made the lead for a team to source, interview, and hire about 40 people with a really, really tight deadline. It was for a new company that was opening, and they needed 40 people to start in the building within a month.
Okay. So
So
very, very tight.
right. So I had to deal with unexpected challenges, systems that were going down, issues that I didn't foresee coming. But that experience just reinforced my leadership skills. I did delegate, and I was able to thrive under the pressure.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So, in that role and in that situation, what do you believe motivated you to do good work?
I think my motivation to do good work just comes from wanting the organization to be successful. I want to put in as much effort as I can to make an imprint with any company I'm working on with. I want to make sure that the company is led to success and I'm a part of it.
Yes, definitely. You want to definitely show that you are a valid associate for the company, and that's very, very appreciated, especially here at Potter's Creek. So, with that, being that you would like to show why you're a good employee, tell me a little bit of how you would like to be supervised or how you like or prefer to be supervised in a role.
When it comes to supervision, I like to be supervised where I have open communication with my supervisor, where we have, weekly check-ins, but also where I feel like I can do some things on my own. So I don't like to be micromanaged, but I like to know that my supervisor is there in case I have any questions. I do ask a lot of questions because I want to make sure I get it right. That way I don't have to go back and ask questions again with the task.
Absolutely, and
Right.
questions is a way that we do learn. So many questions is a great way that you could learn. But yeah, that is very important point that you like to make sure that you have that support that you need to complete your task. And I hope that if you are hired and accept the position, that's something that we could offer you here. So with that, what do you think led you to choose your major that you majored in?
So currently I'm a business major. I feel like business is such a versatile field that like encompass a lot of skills that people need every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
learning about HR,
Mm-hmm.
accounting, leadership, all of these skills we all use, and it also aligns with my career goals and my long term goals.
Okay. 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 So well, that definitely makes a lot of sense, especially when you talk about long-term goals and stuff of that nature. What do you think was your most favorite class during your major, and why do you believe that was your favorite class?
I would say my favorite class that I didn't think would be my favorite would
Mm-hmm.
be accounting.
Okay.
I really enjoyed just learning everything about journals, um, and the math part. I was really intrigued in the class, and I wanted to do good in it. So yeah, that was my favorite class.
Okay. And did you have a least favorite class?
Mm, yes, I would say business writing is probably the least
Tons of
favorite.
papers.
Yes, a lot of writing, a lot of papers, and I tend to get
Excuse me.
writer's block.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I want to say, I just don't know how to say it or how to format it sometimes. So that's why I would say it would be my least favorite.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely understand that. It sounds like a stressful time to be, up working on papers and thinking of deadlines that you have to meet and all that. But I'm sure it definitely molded you into the person that you are today. With that being said, do you think school is something that you would return to in the future? Do you have plans on returning to school for further education?
Um, I am definitely not opposed to it. Once I'm
Okay,
done with my bachelor's, I can see myself, going to get my master's. It's
okay,
not in the plans right now as soon as
got it,
I'm
got it.
done, but if it's gonna help with my future career, I'm definitely interested in furthering my education.
Okay,
Hmm.
definitely. So that is something that we definitely have. It's one of our benefits that we do offer tuition reimbursement. So if you do want to further your education, do believe that, or you should know that we have a company that backs you
Hmm.
for tuition reimbursement. Um, Sounds good, Jade. Moving right along. So our next series of questions is more so going to be about you, and we like to use the format of tell me. So I'll be a lot of our questions that I'm going to ask you will be like tell me about, for instance, tell me about how you decided to get here this morning, and then you would go in to tell me details of that. So moving right along, tell me about a time when you had to be assertive. Excuse me.
Um, okay. So I'm not an assertive person,
Okay.
but there was a couple times while I was lead for a group project that I did have to be assertive. So one time there was a project that I was leading. It was the 40 people hiring project.
Gotcha.
My
Tight
team,
deadlines,
right,
month. Got it. Okay.
right. So the team members had difference of opinions, so much different input,
Okay.
personalities were everywhere, and it was like halting the process of getting done what we needed to get done.
Okay.
So I had to call a meeting and address the issue. Some team members didn't even want to come to the meeting. When they got to the meeting, they were selling their feelings, and I just had to be assertive and tell them we're here for one goal. Let's get back on track to what we're trying to accomplish. Let's put the feelings aside
Mm-hmm.
and be successful because we can do this.
Got
And
it.
ultimately, we got the 40 hires and everyone was happy.
Awesome. That sounds like great, great news. But definitely, I know with a surgeon is something that can put you in an awkward situation,
Right.
especially if it's out of your comfort zone. So I definitely understand that. So tell me about a time where you had to, let's say, use written communication to convey an important point or initiative, something that you had to relate to people, and you had to stress the urgency of it being done.
Um, so there was a time that my manager was going on vacation. He was going to be off the grid, and the mask mandate in our office got pulled.
Okay.
So he let me know as he was boarding that the policy of wearing masks in our office was going away, and I needed to tell my team so they knew when we came back to work the next day, they didn't have to wear a mask 8 hours of the
Ooh,
day.
I know that was a relief for some people.
Right. So I decided to do an
Excuse me.
inner office email with outlining the policy, wrote exactly what the verbiage he gave me over the phone. I even attached articles that said, why we're able to release the mask mandate in the email. And I sent it out to the people on my team. So that was a really important email for me because the mask.
Trust me. During that time, it was definitely like, of importance. No one really knew what was going on or what to expect. So I definitely understand that. So in that moment, would you be able to tell me about a project that you initiated and the success of it?
Yes. So with my previous client recruiter position, I was noticing that we were not retaining a lot of diverse candidates.
Okay.
So I went to my manager. I'm like, how can we change this? In the world now, we're trying to attract more diverse employees, and we really need to get on board with this so we have better representation. So he gave me the go ahead to start the project. I did research on ways to attract more diverse candidates and underrepresented candidates. I got with the rest of the HR team. We edited job descriptions. We started doing networking events and, wanted to attract people that normally wouldn't apply for certain positions based on, how the company looks on the outside.
Okay.
So that was a project that I led, and I'm really proud of that one because I felt like I was able to represent, people that looked like me.
That's a very, very important thing. And I know that your company will be forever grateful for you for that because, diversity and inclusion, that's something that we definitely believe in here at Potters Creek. So kudos to you on that one. Excuse me, my allergies. So let's describe a time when you had to provide a creative solution to a problem.
That's a good one. Okay, so there was a time working in a group again.
Got it.
That we all had input. We had tasks that we were working on. I'll refer to the 40 people hiring again.
Okay.
So we had somebody that was doing background checks. We had somebody that was doing drug screens, people that were interviewing. So we just didn't have a way to organize what everyone was doing and keep track of it. So I did some research and found an app that was like a project management app.
Okay.
Told my team to download it, and we were able to upload our progress in real time and put in what we had going on. We were able to communicate through a messenger part that they had in the app.
Integrated.
Right.
Okay.
So that was a creative solution.
Yeah, I know. It probably definitely helped. You guys were probably able to add someone hey, this task have been added for this person. Please take a look at this when you get a chance. So yeah, definitely. Definitely a great creative solution to an issue that you guys were having. So with that being said, tell me about a time where you influenced the outcome of a project by taking a leadership role.
So I would say the project about the hiring the diverse candidates. I think that led to success with my leadership, and we had a positive outcome, hiring more people and getting people to even be interested in our company. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Just finishing up my notes here. Let's see, moving along. Provide an example of what you've done with your time, schedule, or plan was upset by an unforeseen circumstance. Something that disrupt your natural flow of what you had planned.
So being in HR, I'm sure you know, there's times where candidates cancel or don't show up to interviews last minute, and it just throws everything off because we have time planned for the interviews, and I'm looking forward to meeting the candidates to get the positions filled, and then they don't show up. So it's like or unforeseen and throws things off sometimes.
Gotcha.
So what I usually do is try to call them, reschedule.
Gotcha.
And if that doesn't work and I'm not able to reach them, I'll just use that time to source or move around the schedule for something else.
Okay, so I'm sure during your time you had many constructive criticism that was given to you. Describe a time when you received constructive criticism, and how do you feel that that changed you?
I would say with my first position, it was an office manager at a home health agency.
Got it.
And at my first annual performance review, my manager basically told me that I need to work on my time management skills.
Okay.
And prioritize things that have the soonest deadline.
Okay.
Even if, it takes a long time to do. So after receiving that, I became really organized. I still use it now. Day-to-day task lists.
Got it.
I use time-based planning, block off my calendar for certain things throughout the day, and make sure that I'm always on track to meet the deadlines. Even if it's drawn out or fires come out, I want to make sure that I'm meeting my deadlines and using my time to the best possible way I can.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I'm a list guy myself, so as soon as I complete the task, scratch it off that list, move on to the next thing. So, describe a time when you had to defend a decision, a tough decision that you had to make, but you had to stand on it.
There was a time working in a group for a project with the team. I had some candidates that were pending start dates for like a Monday. We're waiting on their drug screens. And some of my team members were like, let's just send them the first day email. I'm sure they'll pass and they can start on Monday. And I'm like, no, their drug screen is not back. They're not clear. We can't do that. We can't take the candidate's word for it that they'll pass. And I got pushback on that. And I had to stand on my decision, that, yeah, we want the numbers, but we also want to do it the right way.
Correct. Because anything can happen.
Exactly.
You never really know. So yeah, that's definitely something that was worth defending. Sounds good, Jade. I think that's all the questions that I needed from you. Do you have any excuse me. Do you have any questions for me here about Potter Street?
Yes, I have a couple.
Okay.
So,
right,
what is the training process?
So here we have a very vigorous training process. This is about 6 weeks long.
Okay.
When I tell people that, it seems like it's very, very long, but it's 2 weeks in more so classroom setting as far as web-based training. 1 week where you shadow someone, and then it repeats again. 2 weeks classroom and web-based training, and then shadow someone for 1 week. We just want to make sure that you get every single piece of information that you need and for you to be successful with it. So it is vigorous, but it's something that we definitely believe in here.
Right. And how do you do your rate your performance for
Okay.
employees?
Performances, we have our annual merits. So, you go through the year and based off your merits, that's what we evaluate you at. Um, but you definitely have constant feedback every quarter from your supervisor or monthly, weekly, when they do the huddles. But, we're very straightforward and we give you all the information because we ultimately want you to succeed. We want you to have all the resources for you to succeed. So, yeah.
Okay. Another question. What would you say the culture of Potter's Creek? I
Great
know
question.
sometimes the HR department can be,
It can be a little tough,
yeah.
but you also have to set the mood. I would say our culture here is great. We definitely believe in inclusion, diversity, making everyone voices being heard and felt. So we definitely believe in that family atmosphere. We have an open door policy. You can come to your supervisor if you don't feel like your supervisor can answer your question or give you the answer that you needed. You can go above him to the next person in charge of him. Because we're very much open door policy. Whoever you need to go to speak to, if you don't feel comfortable speaking with your supervisor, there is someone within the company that you can speak with that can answer your question.
Okay, great. Another question.
Sure.
Why is the position open? Did someone leave or?
Yes, we did have someone retire. She worked for us for over 30 years.
Okay.
So we are looking for something new, something fresh, but something that can also fit with what we have currently going on. So yeah.
Okay. And what are the next steps?
So the next steps, great question. The recruiter usually reaches out to you. I am gonna finish up on my notes here, and I will get it back to her this afternoon. And she should reach out to you and let you know what's next or where we go from here.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Great.
It was great meeting you.
Nice meeting you, Joel.
We'll see you soon.
All
Thank you.
right.